Continuing in the investigation of the Donald Trump shooting, we're going to perform some audio analysis of the actual shots fired. And we're going to determine, do we think that there was a second shooter? Because we've been getting a lot of questions about this. We're going to show you some fresh new video from the Trump shooting crime scene, tracing the shooter's steps from 6:05 p.m. up to the shooting. And can you believe it? I just uploaded my other video on the Trump assassination attempt yesterday, where we were talking about the communications between the officers, and I showed you a different possible way where the shooter could have climbed up the air conditioners, right? And wouldn't you know it, within minutes of my video uploading, Spa Guy comes up with another video. So I'll put a link to Billy's Spa Guy channel here on YouTube down in the video description below. Make sure you check out his channel. He has a lot of great videos on historical events and people and adventures. I think you'll like it. And of course, this is a very adventurous historical event going on now. But his drone videos are just second to none here. He's really captured the whole property quite well. So make sure you check that out. So let me show you from his video what he found, where he took the drone and flew it right over the air conditioning unit there. And let's take a look. Okay, so the building on the right, second floor, is where the cop was that last saw the shooter sitting at this picnic table at 6:05 p.m. And then he got up from the table and started to walk over here and go this way between the buildings, right to the air conditioner. And this one here is missing the lid, and it's possible that the FBI took it. Now there you can see fingerprints that Spa Guy captured. Now, I've sped up quite a bit here, and I've only just showed you a couple of small parts. Make sure you check out the link to his full video in the description below. You'll see he zooms into all the different hand smudges and footprints that are likely belonging to the shooter. So as I speed it up, this is the likely path he took. He would probably have come over here, stepped on these AC ducts onto the higher roof. Now he can run across all the roofs. There's the two-story building in the background. Then there's one intermediate hallway that he has to drop down to. Then he's going to come across to the second one here, and this is it. And then once he crosses that last hallway, he's now crawling up the roof to his final vantage point. And this is it right here. So now you're getting the actual view that the shooter had right there at the ridgeline. He probably set his rifle, the tip of it, right on the end of that ridge right there. And there's another tent and event going on there now, but you can see Trump would have been standing right where that white tent is over there, so he had an easy view. All right, so I had the audacity to pull up the Audacity audio program, and I pulled two waveforms into here. The bottom one here is going to be the TMZ video. That was the famous one that everybody saw, where the people were pointing up to the roof and then the shots ring out. Then on the top here, I have Dave Stewart's now famous video of the scene right when the shooting took place. So I just want to show you graphically. Here's the first three shots right here, and then the second five. And we want to see whether they sound the same or not, like on the TMZ. So let's play the TMZ one. Put him on, and I want to mute Butler, and I want you to listen to the shots, the first three here, and see if they sound different than the second five, because this is why people are thinking there's a second gunman. There's three. And then there was the fifth shot, and then the suppressed shot from the local officer. So this is that slide I had showed on one of my previous videos from a week ago. And as you can see, you heard the three shots here by the bad guy, and then the second five, and these are the ones that everybody thinks sound so differently. And it does sound differently on this video. So now I'm going to mute the TMZ video, and I'm going to play Dave Stewart's video over here. I'll start it back here at the beginning. Here's the three shots right over here. Then you're going to hear silence for a little bit, and then you're going to see the Secret Service guy come in right here to take him out. And there you have it. So there's your audio. So the burning question here is, why does the audio sound like it's the same on Dave Stewart's video, but yet on the TMZ video, it sounds like the second five shots sound a little different here? So there must be an explanation for this. And of course, many people say, well, that means there's a second shooter. Not so fast. Let's check this out. I decided to investigate further. So for that, I turned to my good friends at ChatGPT and I asked, can a rifle make different sounds each time you shoot it? And it says here, yes. A rifle can produce different sounds each time it is fired due to a variety of factors. So let's go through this list. Ammunition? No, there's nothing different there. It's the same ammunition in between shots, so I doubt that that would be it. Environmental conditions? No, I don't think so, because he shot these shots over 10 seconds and the weather didn't change in 10 seconds. Rifle condition. Now, here's one that is probably somewhat feasible. The condition of the rifle itself can cause variations in sound. Differences in barrel wear, cleanliness, and modifications can alter the sound. Maybe the end of the rifle there was heated up from the first few shots, and maybe that can change the gas a little bit, the way it shoots out. But anyway, you also have here, this one I think is probably even more probable, position and angle. The position of the shooter and the angle at which the rifle is fired can change the acoustics. Shooting from a prone position versus standing can create different sound profiles due to changes in the direction and the dispersion of the sound waves. Now, of course, it's debatable whether he actually stood up, but if you've got the rifle resting on the top of the metal roof and you're shooting, and then you suddenly lift it up, and he came up at least like this, because we saw photos of him turning like this to shoot at the crowd that was pointing to him, and that's when the Secret Service took him out. So I think, yes, you are going to get a different sound than when the rifle is just sitting there on metal up against a metal roof. Okay, let's see. Number 5, surroundings. Nope, the surroundings didn't change in that 10-second. And suppression devices, I doubt it. He was not using a suppression device. Only the police officer that shot at him and the Secret Service sniper that took him out, they were using suppression. And then we also checked to see if any kind of rifle malfunction could affect the shooting. This guy is such a dunce. I would not be at all surprised if he didn't take very good care of his gun either. But it says here, yes, a malfunction or damage to the rifle nozzle, the muzzle, can affect the sound of the bullet being fired. The muzzle's condition influences how gases escape the barrel, which in turn affects the sound signature of the shot. So obstructions, damage, or wear can lead to unusual or inconsistent sounds when the rifle is fired. For example, an irregular muzzle can cause gas to escape unevenly, altering the expected sound profile of the rifle shot. So I assembled this Venn diagram for you here to illustrate it. And remember, I'm just showing 3 possible causes here. There's probably others that we just haven't even looked at. But if you look here, the output, the main output here is the audio is different from the first 3 shots fired by the Trump shooter and the second 5 shots that are fired by the Trump shooter, which, of course, the conspiracy theory people think that that second burst of 5 shots came from a second gun. So all we know at this point is the audio is different. So what are things that can cause that? Well, number 1, the shooter may have stood up, is one possible reason. I showed you on a previous video here on the Trump shooting analysis about how the microphone's moving. A lot of these people were running when they were shooting these videos and changing directions, and they're moving their cameras left and right and going crazy with them. And that changes the direction of the sound, and it can be enough to alter the sound of the shot. And I know a lot of you were commenting, oh, that's not true. I'm not buying it. You're lying. Well, this is what people are going to say when you show evidence of how physics actually works. And the third one here would be also a rifle malfunction. And it doesn't have to be a full malfunction. It could be wear and tear. So what we're saying here, folks, is just because you have the audio is different does not mean that you have 2 gunmen now. At this point, all it means is the audio is different. So we now then need more evidence of a shooter. Do you have video of another shooter? Don't show me stupid little sparkles of light on a window that you know a shot never came out of because the window was never cracked or shattered or bullet holes or anything like that. And don't try to show me sparkles on windows that you claim are muzzle flashes that are screen grabbed and a point in a video where there wasn't any shooting going on. So we're already aware of all of these tricks that everybody's trying to pull, right? I want real evidence of a second gunman. See, so when you look here, there really is, at least in this case here, I'm showing just 3 possible causes for audio is different, which really means that each one of these has only a 33% chance of being correct. So now let me come back here and we'll add the case of second shooter. So now we have 4 different possible causes here. So now each one of these, the odds of them being true drops down to 1 in 4, or 25% chance. And so this is why you can't just say that if you have the audio is different, that it means a second shooter. And so the problem really comes down to, folks, is that us human beings, we have a problem with causality. We always get causality wrong. We see A and we think B. This happened, therefore that is the cause of it. And it's just like, here in Florida, we've had a lot of shark attacks this summer. And so what's the cause of that? Well, I don't know. Maybe because it's summertime and you got more people in the water and more sharks coming in the area to feed. But you could say, hey, guess what? The pizza parlors over by the beach are making a lot of pizza. And because people are buying pizza, that's why there's shark attacks. That's the type of causality. That's an extreme case, right? But that's what's happening with human beings. And I've seen it all the time in the engineering world, where people see one little thing and they think it's the answer, but they didn't go back and look at the data behind it. So what we see a lot here with the conspiracy theory is we have a lot of causality errors here. And they're stuck on this one cause here. They say the audio is different, therefore there must be a second shooter. And this is, of course, not true, because there's many different other possible causes. They pick the path of least resistance. And let's face it, a lot of times the conspiracy people are just plain old lying. A lot of them are instigators. A lot of them are probably people from Iran or China that are just trying to stir up trouble. They're trying to make a civil war out of us. And we got to remember, folks, we are all on the same side here. So anyway, keep your questions coming and we'll keep answering them. Make sure you check out these other 2 videos that I've uploaded over the last couple of days here. These are the fresh new videos for you to check out. If you haven't been here on this channel, you want to binge watch those. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.